Okay, moving on to the next lesson. Now we have status on the total number of files. So basically, we're going to have a script that will send alert if files are less than 50 or whatever the defined number of files. So this type of scripts are often used in corporate environment when an application generates a few number of files, and for the developers or even system administrators, they have to make sure those files are there before they actually go and run another workflow. So if the number of files are 20, go ahead, run the workflow. If it's 19, the workflow is not complete, it's waiting pending, and then once it's complete, notified. So these type of workflow or entire process depend from one to another. So this is what we'll cover. What we will run here is simply we will run ls command with minus L option because it will give the listing, but different options if you want to, like ls ltr or just t, or any other option that will give you the entire listing of your directory. Then we will create a script to perform that comparison. And of course, at the end, schedule and notify if you have to schedule it through the cron job and notify through the email. So that's the two main way to schedule the job and to notify users through the email. So let's go into our main lab Linux machine. I have already logged in as myself. I am in home directory. Let's go to PS directory, and I will create the script real quick. So let's call the script, you know what, before we call the script, so let's create files so that we could run that script against those files. So to create the file, I will create, instead of 50, I'll create 20. So touch file, and of course, I want to have 1 through 20, and let's call it .text. So I want to create files from 1 through 20 that ends with .text. So hit enter, and you will see I have files from file 1 all the way through to 20 and as .text file. So my script, what it will do is whenever it runs, it will verify if we have total number 20 files in my home directory. And if it does, then it will notify the user, hey, I got the 20 files, go ahead and start your workflow. So to verify it, you do ls-l command and do file and asterisk, and you will get all the 20 files. But now we have to do wc-l to check the count. Count is 20. Now perfect. Now let me put that script, a little command, this one in our script. It's a small tiny script, and we will run that script. So count files, this is the name I want to give my script, and we are defining all our parameters up there, all our settings, the author, the date, description. This is one of the most important one. This script will verify total number of files. Perfect. Modified. By the way, you could also add any of the comments you want that will actually make you understand what the script is for. You could also give comments on every line whenever you write something. So let's say if you are defining a variable, I'm going to define that variable here, a equal tick ls-l file asterisk wc-l tick close. So I have defined variable a. So I could put a comment here if you want to. Comment defining variable a. That's it. If you want to actually do, if you want to actually add comments on every line. So our variable is defined. So what we'll have to do is if $a is equal to 20. Now we're using EQ because we're using integer. And you remember when we use equal sign, which is equal, when we actually using the letter. So if we are putting Y or no, then we put equal. All right, so if A is equal 20, then echo yes, there are $A files, meaning 20 files. Else, echo files are less than 20, because now we're defining it actually number what we're looking for, so we cannot put our variable here. Phi. That's pretty much, it's that simple. Let's put if here so it'll come in line. So let's give it executable permission. Count files, and let's run it. It says yes, there are 20 files. That is perfect. Now what do we have to do? I could show you real quick. If first of all, before I show you something else, let's change it. Let's delete one file. So one remove file 20 text. Now when I run it, it will tell me count files. Files are less than 20. Okay, so now we know the script works. Here's another quick thing I wanted to show you. You see right here, we always define variable here, right? And variable is A equal whatever the variable is. What you could also do here is, instead of just defining a variable, you could also actually put this entire command here. So you could do like tick, oops, if this command, like whatever comes out, is equal to 20, then do that, and then you don't have to define the variable. You just comment that out. Let's see if it runs. Yes, files are less than 20. If I create back the files, touch, I removed file 20.txt, and now when I run it, yes, there are files. Yes, there are files. Which one is? Oh, remember we have that variable in there. That's why I couldn't. Right here. Yes, there are. And it doesn't understand what that variable is because we are commented out the variable. So we could say, yes, there are 20 files if you want. Anyway, my point here is to explain to you that you could define variable, which is the best way and cleanest way to put your script together, so you would know where to use your variable. If you do not want to use variable, you could also put that entire command inside of if else statement. So that's how this works, and once that is completed, you could also send a message, a return status to another workflow. Hey, the command ran successfully.